This is now the fourth video in our series for writing the argumentative literary essay. Again, focused on theme. You guys are writing about the theme in your dystopian novels. I am writing about the theme in The Call of the Wild. And we're still in our introductory paragraph. We already hit on the hook and our thesis. We talked about transitioning between different parts. This is all still the first paragraph. So the next box on my organizer for you is on making sure that we then introduce our main points. What you are not doing is going into terribly heavy detail here. You want to just introduce the things that you are going to be elaborating on later. It does help if you do provide some sort of synopsis, a really brief summary of the text, but be as brief as possible. You're going to let the story unfold as you actually do the writing of the story, of your essay. The story will unfold as you write your essay because you'll be giving more and more information throughout. If you still have my organizer with you, which hopefully you do have my pointers down the side, so that can help you as well. But I like to model everything that I ask of you, so that's where these videos come in handy. So I am working with The Call of the Wild, which we read together. So I had in my thesis that I am writing about the theme of overcoming adversity, and specifically with Buck's journey. I'm grabbing this up here. Sorry. All right. So, it is beneficial if I provide some sort of little bit of information for my readers to know what the book is about. I didn't do that in my version yet. In the previous video on thesis, I did include that with an example, the shortest versions I could possibly include of a little bit of synopsis for the honors where they were reading, for example, the Jenna Fox and the Limit books. But I didn't actually do that for mine yet. So in my main points, before I actually jump into the points, I do want to center my readers. I told them what book it was in my thesis statement, but I didn't actually go into detail about the content of the book. I told them it was the novel The Call of the Wild, and Jack London focuses on the theme of overcoming adversity. So now I need to give some more information. The Call of the Wild is an adventure story. The narrative focuses on Buck, the protagonist, who happens to be a dog. In some way, shape, or form, I need to let my readers know that. When I did this in class, I wrote it differently. I still communicated the same information, but I conveyed it differently. The story takes place in the 1890s Buck is ripped from a relaxing, not sure if I want to use that word, life in sunny Southern California, and is sold as a sled dog in the Yukon Territory during the Klondike Gold Rush. Just a couple sentences. Now my reader has some brief idea of what's gone on. Now is where I can then put in the main points, but I can't just put them in there. And we want to remember that we don't say the first main point is, the second main point is. We don't do that. That is narrating your essay, telling what you're going to do, not just actually doing it. So now I'm going to put in some kind of a transitional sentence that is going to move me forward for my main points here. Like many authors, London uses the experiences of his protagonist to illustrate the theme to his readers. And if you notice, I included in parentheses he wishes to convey, because as I was writing, between the time I said it out loud and between the time that I got to that part in writing, I thought, I might want to include that. But I'm not sure, so I put it in parentheses there. So this transitions from me giving a little bit of a synopsis to now focusing my readers on theme again. Throughout the narrative, Buck faces a variety of adversities. The physical adversities he faces help shape him and strengthen him. Facing those challenges and overcoming them set him up for future success actually for success against future challenges. That's my first main point. Now, when I did my organizer itself was pretty generic. I'm looking for my organizer in my pile of papers here. You hear rustling in the background. That was that because I gave it to someone to look at. My organizer, I had physical adversities, the external conflicts, and then I had mental and emotional, the internal conflicts that he faces. Now, but that is just really generic. So now I need to turn that into an idea or a statement. So what you'll see is that not only am I saying that he faces physical adversities, that's kind of like a duh moment. He's going to face physical adversities, but that by overcoming those physical adversities, he enables himself future success. That is my main point. Now I transition to the second main point. Alongside the physical challenges, comma, this is my transition. I'm not saying next or the second main point. I don't do that. I transition with a transition phrase alongside the physical challenges, but also encounters many situations that test him mentally. That's the start of my second main point. While he was physically strong, from the beginning, his ability to endure mental and emotional hardship was untested before he was dog-napped. I'm not sure dog-nap's a word, so I'm probably going to write stolen. So now I am making a distinction. Overcoming his physical adversities, I'm saying that helps shape him and strengthen him. Now I'm saying that mentally, he hadn't been tested before. Overcoming those internal conflicts was necessary for him to press on and succeed. in such unknown territory? First point, transition. Second point. At no point did I say, my first main point is, my second main point is. I actually wrote out what my points were. I thought about them. I didn't just write physical adversity, mental adversity. I explained to my readers what that means in this particular story. I wrote it out. I cannot assume my reader has any idea of anything in the story. Now, I do need to acknowledge that there is a counter argument that someone could disagree, but I will quickly. Oh, sorry, I stepped on my dog. Oops. He was sitting below my foot. Sorry, Ryden. If you heard the little squeal, I'm sorry, Pup. Sorry, I didn't know you were under me. Well, that's great. I'm going to keep that in the video because let's keep it real. All right. I'll give him a treat afterwards. All right, so I've got my first main point. I've got my second main point. I'm going to quickly acknowledge that some people might disagree with this thesis that I have, but that through careful examination, they're wrong. And I am wordy, so I took up all my main point spot, but I'm going to have to move into this spot right here because I can do a really quick transition down at the bottom. So let's continue this for me with the counter argument. While there are those who would disagree that Buck successfully overcomes his adversities in the novel, a careful examination of the text easily disproves that notion. Not my best writing, but it does the job. Now I just have to sum it up in some sort of way where I'm ready to bridge to the next paragraph, which will start the body paragraphs. And while I could make that a separate video, let's just stick with it here. And get that out there for it. Okay, that was a longer pause than I thought. Needed to take care of the baby there for a minute, but I'm now finishing up. So we have an acknowledgement that there is a counter argument, but we carefully, quickly say that, nope, you can see that this is in fact the right thing. So then you need to summarize it all to bring it all together. So overall, it is undeniable. I was going to say easy, but I just had easy right above there. Nope, still don't like it. The theme of overcoming adversity is central to Buck's journey throughout the call of the wild. And that's it. That is the last part of our introduction. And so tomorrow I'll be back with videos showing you how to transfer the same kind of information but in a new and different way to your conclusion. After that, then we'll move on to the body paragraphs. I do apologize if you're already in the body paragraphs. It'll take me another day or two to get there. But if you are already there and you remember the stuff that I was working on you with in class, then you can keep going with that and just check in. Tomorrow I'm going to do the conclusion and I will probably get into some of the body paragraphs, but I don't know quite how much. But if you have any questions, please check in with me. I am checking email. You can leave me messages on Classroom too. I usually get notifications for those. If I don't get back to you via Classroom, then try my email because sometimes the notifications are sketchy. They don't necessarily work all the time, but I do check them and I do respond to them as soon as I see them. Okay? All right. I hope you guys are having a good break, and I hope this has been a helpful model. So at this point, the expectation for me is that hopefully, with all of your free time, you're going to give this a shot, and I will do my best to help you individually. It's a little bit hard, I know, from home, but we're doing our best. And one last thought. I had tried to make a video explaining this all before I started posting the essay videos. But if you do work on and finish up the essay from home, then when we get back to school, I have some fun other activities for you to be able to do that will just be enjoyable. So that way, if you are still working on the writing, I'll be able to work with those people more individually, and you can really do some self-directed kind of fun stuff if you have worked ahead. So take it or leave it, that is up to you, but I will do my best to help all of you. All right, thanks so much. Bye guys.